Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the Grey. In today's video, I'm going to talk Age of Sigmar Warcry and getting started with that game. In today's video, especially, we're going to look at the Khainite Shadowstalkers Warband in particular. We're going to take a look at the models inside the Warband box set, talk about what they do on the tabletop and what they are, and then look at some other units we can bring in as allies to the Warband from some other forces of order. We'll then, at the end of the video, look at a little sample army list using some of the allies to build upon this initial box set and give you a sample army list as some inspiration, hopefully, for starting your own Khainite Shadowstalkers Warband with your own little bit of flair to it. Now, it should be said that you don't need to pick up anything else other than this box set. This box set, straight from the get-go, is 1,000 renown in the box, so a perfect way to get yourself started in Warcry. But let's talk about the models inside the box set. And first of all, we have the champion, the amazing Shroud Queen model. Now, the Shroud Queen is really fun. First of all, she has toughness 4, 20 wounds, pretty tough for, an elf. Most elves in the game have toughness 3, so that toughness 4 is nice. She also has 5 strength 4, 2/5 damage attacks in melee, and has a 3-inch range weapon for 4 attacks at strength 4, 2/4 on the damage, so you can really play around with how she's interacting in combat. She has access to the army's quad, which is Ensnaring Darkness. You either allocate a number of damage points equal to the value of its ability to all visible enemy fighters within 3 inch, or she can take 3 wounds on herself and increase the range of that damage being dealt to all enemy fighters within 6. So a really cool area effect, powerful ability. Now, next to her, we have the Slaughter Shade, which is sort of your elite-style fighter, your second in command. The Slaughter Shade can be built with either Umbral Spears for 4 attacks at strength 4, 1/4 on its damage, or with a Whip, which will give it 3-inch range for 3 attacks at strength 4, 2/4 on the damage. Either way, you're going to be defense of 3, and you're going to have 12 wounds. You're going to have access to a couple of different abilities. First of them is going to be the Cursed Darts, where you can do some just flat damage at range, or you have the Instrument of Cain ability, where a fighter can only use the ability if an enemy fighter has been taken down by them. They can make a bonus move or a bonus attack action after it. Now, we then get 2 Dark Flame Warlocks in the box set as well, and you can build these in a couple of different ways. So, both models can be built to have the Doomfire rings, or you can choose to have the one model, the really cool looking one, built with the repeated crossbows. The repeated crossbows will have 4 attacks at strength 3, 1/3 on the damage at an 8-inch range, so they can use it in melee and combat, which is really cool. Or you have the option for a ranged attack on the Doomfire ring of 3 to 7 inch, 2 attacks, strength 4, 2/4 on the damage, and a melee attack of 3 attacks at strength 3, 1/3 on the damage. Regardless, once again, toughness 3 and 12 wounds. Now, both of them will have the Harness Shadow ability, where until the end of the battle round, subtract 1 from the attack's characteristic to a minimum of 1 from enemy fighters that target a fighter within 3 inch of this fighter. So a nice defensive ability they're bringing to the table as well. Lastly, we have the Shroud Blades, which is sort of your red shirts for the army. They can have either Cursed Swords for 4 attacks at strength 3, 1/4 on the damage, or the Umbral Spear for a 2-inch range instead of 1, but 3 attacks at strength 4, 1/4 on the damage. So a little few less attacks, but higher strength. Now, they're both going to be 3 on their toughness and 8 wounds. Most of your army has 6-inch movement, though this is really boosted by the fact you've got a double called Shadow Leap, which allows you to literally just move horizontally across the table, ignoring all terrain. Now, looking at where we can go next for this force, and definitely bringing in some of the Daughters Cain models, I think is the way to go, both narratively and really they do complement pretty well. So the first one is the Hag Queen, who can bring a Witch Brew along, where you pick a visible friendly fighter within 3 inches of this fighter, and until the end of the battle round, you add the value of this ability to the strength characteristic of the next melee attack action made by that fighter. So you can boost up your strength, which is generally a low point of your army. Strength 4 is considered high for Khainite Shadowstalkers. Or you can take the Slaughter Queen. She has a cool quad you can use called Orgy of Slaughter, where until the end of the battle round, you add half the value of this ability to the damage points allocated to enemy fighters by each critical hit from melee attack actions made by friendly fighters while they're within 8 inches of this fighter. I think this really goes nicely with the Khainite Shadowstalkers. They're a warband that really likes getting crits. They generally have low damage value, but they have very high crit value, with even, their base fighters being 1/3s and 1/4s and stuff like that. Now, the Bloodwrack Medusa brings something a little different to your force. She's a much more harder to kill piece. Toughness 4, 35 wounds, 2 attacks at strength 4, and a 2-inch range, and 3/5 on the damage. She can absolutely do a bit of hitting. She's also got the Blood Rack Stare, which is straight up just some damage at range. Now, the last models I want to talk about are the Shrike and Harridan. These are the champion models for the different Kinarai units. I think they add a lot. The Death on the Wind is another quad you can bring into the table, and they get to make a bonus move and then a bonus attack. And you add one to the strength attack characteristic of the attack action if they finish the move within 6 inch more than where they started. So effectively, if they get to move more. And, you know, they bring Fly to the table with a 12-inch move. Pretty solid. 15 wounds, defense 4. I think they're a nice little addition to a warband to bring in some speed. And so here we have our warband for you for the Khainite Shadowstalkers. Now we go on the champion. Obviously, the Shroud Queen. This is the only model that can be a champion for the Khainite Shadowstalkers. Now, the fighters we've gone for the Slaughter Shade with Umbral Spear. We do have to go the Spear in this one, just because we are a perfect 1,000 renown, so we don't have the points to spare. We do have the Doomfire Ring Warlocks. We've gone double on them. I think the Doomfire Rings, for me, after playing so many games, I built the cool twin crossbow model, and while he looks absolutely amazing, the Doomfire Rings always do more damage than him. Always do more work. He just lets me down so often. So, unfortunately, both Doomfire Rings. Now, we've got 2 Shroud Blades as well with Cursed Swords. They're going to be, you know, your objective grabbers. They're really good little fighters, to be honest. The fact they're low on wounds, you know, is a little bit of a restraint on them. The fact you're not wanting to really put them in too many combats. You're wanting to make sure you're sort of using doubles from range with them, but they are good at grabbing treasure and then disappearing. Remembering they're not actually flying, so they can use that double while they've got the treasure on them to move vertically, which is really, really cool. Now, allies-wise, we've got the Hag Queen and Slaughter Queen in there. They're going to bring some extra power to the force. They're both decent fighters in their own right, so they're going to work well with the Slaughter Shade, but they're also going to bring their abilities to the table, boosting up things like our Slaughter Shade, like our Shroud Queen and the Warlocks, or even each other into the force and giving us some really decent heavy hitters. Now, we've got 1,000 out of 1,000 renown spent. We are slightly low on wounds, the average being 120 to 140 wounds, so 108 is decently below that average. 8 activations is right on the cusp of average for that 8 to 11 activation range for Warcry. If you've been playing with the Khainite Shadowstalkers, let us know how you've been going and what you would do with the warband down in the comments below. What are your favourite allies? Do you have thralls or monsters that you like to bring in? Love to hear from everyone. And so that is the end of the video. We hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already, come and join our Discord and join in the conversation there. We chat all things wargaming and other things besides as well. If you'd like to do that, you can come join via the descriptions linked to the server. Now, also linked down in the video's description is the best ways to support the channel via Patreon or YouTube members, or indeed grabbing some merch from our merch stores on either Teespring or on Ko-fi. As a special thank you to everyone who does support the channel on Patreon and YouTube members, we'd like to give you all a shout out. So, thank you to our Patreons, Christian Weir, Soren, Kenny Lowe, Alder and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising 8, Q Dynamic, Anthony B, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Bloobs, Benjamin Swallows, Red Martin, Aaron DeHaven, Kevin Bowman, and Iron Grinch. And a special thank you to our YouTube members, Green Roots Gaming, Ronya, Lock Lorick, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revenar, Pink Nico Fire, Robin Man Killer, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, John Castle, Davis Weir, and James South. Lastly, a special thank you to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork for the channel as well. Couldn't do this without you. Thank you all to everyone for watching once again. Don't forget to like and subscribe and drop a comment down below. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.